So tonight, I think what we would like to cover, and it's been something that we've had on our agenda for quite a while, actually. In January, we discussed with a company called Optimize 5, and we had them as a guest speaker. And so Shannon and I did a little check to see how we're looking as a company, but also, individually, as some of you have reached out to us saying, gosh, I'm just not showing up, or what can I do differently with my online presence? And I was in a meeting this morning with our group out in Spokane in North Idaho, and we discussed this as a group, and it was interesting to see different perspectives and also kind of some frustrations. So I'm going to cover tonight kind of a case study so you can see some of the people that we discussed this morning, and they did give me permission to go ahead and showcase their websites. And we're going to go ahead and go through that. And then I will go ahead at the very end and kind of give some pointers to Adam Wilson. Adam is one of our brokers out here in North Idaho, and he is very excited to listen to this recording. He's actually on his way to a kids' soccer game. So he will be listening to this later and also taking some notes as far as what he needs to do to improve his image. So I'm going to kind of come from a consultative approach tonight. And certainly if you have questions about your personal website or your online presence, you're welcome to put it in the chat. And Shannon and I might have some time at the end to get to your questions. So a common branding issue that we see, again, Adam's been with us for about a year, I believe, and he came to us from Century 21 in California. He moved into North Idaho, and he joined our company. He's a super, super great guy. If you ever have any questions or want to refer business, he's licensed to do commercial as well as residential, and has a very good experience at working with thousands and thousands of clients over the years. So he is wanting to basically brand himself also in North Idaho. He's been doing real estate for close to 25 years, I believe. And so it's a common branding issue. Is I've been maybe doing this for a while, or maybe I'm new. And in his case, those of you who might be newer to the business, there's a reason why we start with a signature block. And then we work our way through a branding exercise, which we'll kind of go through tonight. So this is Adam Wilson. We didn't have a website for him, so we used the main company website. It's very common that we would start out with something like this, but he's at a point where he really needs to go hyper local. He needs to basically be in the community. He needs to have his own website, and he needs to connect his social media, the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, if that's what he's choosing to brand himself with on social. We need to make sure that all of these things are aligned. So this is very common where either you're new to the business or new to the area, or maybe you started out with Best Choice with just a signature block, and we need to do a refresh. And so I'm going to kind of go through that here with somebody who started also at the same time, but we pushed it a little bit further, faster with some options. So you do have options at Best Choice Realty. You can co-brand, which means that you can use Best Choice Realty's logo and brand and have our color choices and have that co-branded effect where you get the benefit of Best Choice Realty and, say in this circumstance, Johnston Realty. There's a co-branding philosophy, and there's also some examples of what that would look like for a logo design, or to work with our marketing team to help you brand your signage and things like that. That might be a time that we'll need to discuss with Adam. Is he ready to do that? Pay for a little bit to brand his name or his logo, that kind of thing. There also in the state of Washington is DBA, where you can actually pay the state of Washington to go away from our colors, combinations, logo, and actually in Nofke's case down below, you can actually have that be a doing business as, meaning it's no different if it was Nofke or it was Best Choice Realty, and Washington allows that currently. And it's been up for debate for many years. But the state of Washington does allow for a DBA. Idaho does not. They would only allow co-branding. So as we keep on moving here, Shannon's going to keep me going. So Gina and Jessica, they are doing a co-branded effect, but no, not like much of you. You know, we've changed a lot of things on their website, built things, helped them with their Google. with LinkedIn, making sure that everything kind of matches up with their signature. However, I was just kind of looking in preparation for tonight's webinar, and realtor.com, again, it shows up when I do a search, and it still looks like Gina is with Remax Gold Sonora. So it still looks like she's in California, where she may need to go in and update her realtor.com profile to give her more legitimacy and also help her SEO. So I'm going to kind of go through. That would be an area of opportunity for those ladies to kind of improve their profile. So there's always room for improvement. Even I could improve on a few of my websites or profiles. Shannon also found one where she could improve upon. So I guess my thought here is that all of us have room for growth on our online profiles. There's always ways we can go in, update or improve, even if it's just changing up our photo or our bio, updating how many years you've been in the business. I think it was 5 years since I updated my profile, and it was time for me to definitely update that as well. So how it looks on Google. So if you haven't done this in a while, you'll want to go in, and I just did a search for Jessica Lanier Realtor. She's one of the 2 ladies here that work for Best Choice Realty. So I did a search, just a Google search. Let's say I met Jessica Lanier and she was at the meeting this morning, and she actually looks pretty good. When you do a Google search, it looks like she comes up realtor.com, which is interesting because here your teammate does not have an updated Jessica Lanier, but it looks like the daughter did. So Rathdrum, Idaho real estate agent, definitely makes her hyper local. Zillow, looks like Zillow comes up next, but you can notice on the right side there, it shows Selling North Idaho, Best Choice Realty, Gina Wirtz, and Jessica Lanier. This is in direct communication with Optimize 5 that gave them some advice back in January when we started to go through and do these webinars. They went ahead and updated their profile, and it definitely ranks very high, and it shows right on the right when I look for Jessica Lanier Realtor, comes right up. And it's really cool because there's actually quite a few Jessicas. In fact, we have 2 Jessicas in our own group in North Idaho. So it's nice that she's already kind of established herself and her mom as realtors in that Selling North Idaho area. So you can certainly use Best Choice Realty. In Idaho, it's required to co-brand. In Washington, you could create, like Nofke could have their own Google My Business or Google profile that shows up. But if you also have if you want to give Best Choice Realty a little bit of credentials and co-brand, it does help because we have a good image when you look online for many of our brokers. Homes.com, if you didn't know this, Homes.com is actually owned by Homestep or CoStar. CoStar owns Homes.com and also Homesnap. That whole relationship, if you had a Homesnap profile, it actually will help you. Homes.com is pulling some of that data from Jessica on that. And then she's very prominent on Instagram. So no difference. I can see why it was definitely prominent when I did a search for Jessica Lanier Realtor. Instagram came right up. So overall, as a solo agent, if I'm just searching for Jessica Lanier Realtor or Selling North Idaho Realtor, if you go to the next slide, Shannon, they come up really well. And I think it's because of their Google profile that we worked on back in January. Let's go to the next slide.
They've also done a really good job of making sure that whatever is updated in one place is updated everywhere.
Yes.
You know, I'm a big proponent of when you have a new headshot you're using for real estate. Have you updated the LinkedIn? Have you updated realtor.com? Have you updated Zillow so that it all matches? Same thing with your bio.
That goes for phone number and also goes for email address and all the addresses and things like that.
Yeah, you'll want it to be consistent everywhere. So if you're putting forth the effort of updating it one place, you might as well update it everywhere else as well. Gina and Jessica too, so they put together what you see on the right-hand side. This is the Google business profile, which we always spend time in our workshop class we offer every single month. So if you're needing help setting that up, that's something that we can help you with when you come in for those types of training. But they've done a really good job too. They've got the name set up. They've got an image of them. They've got, you know, an address, they've got their hours, the phone number, they've got a website, which is kind of cut off here, but that would be underneath it. And they've got reviews as well. So, I mean, it's in terms of having a good Google business profile, they've done a really good job.
And the address, if you're nervous about, oh, I don't want to use my home address, which many agents have that concern, you can use one of the office locations. We have multiple office locations, and that's what they're there for. So if you want to use Bellevue, you can use Bellevue. All of them are branch offices of Best Choice Realty. Tukwila, you can use the Seattle address for that, or you can use the, I had one of our brokers come in from Linwood. He had to verify that was a legitimate business location. And so One Way went ahead and came in and got that. Hopefully he got that accepted. But that's all of those office locations are meant to support your business growth as well and keep your business and personal. So this is how selling North Idaho looks. It's interesting because if I was going to sell a home in North Idaho, I might even do a Google search, sell North Idaho. And look what comes up, you guys. Best Choice Realty selling North Idaho. They have had click to calls and actually direct business that have come because they put the time into building that Google profile. Notice that it's right up, it's actually number, and the reason it's so high is because they have 5 reviews. So if you do show up as a business or you are trying to improve, one of the things that our consultant told us is that the more reviews you have as a business, the better you'll show up on these searches. So spend the time if you have it and you're like, I need to update it or I need to improve my SEO or my look. Just start getting some people to rate and rank you on Google. And that's 90% of the people have Google accounts or Gmail accounts. So it's an easy way for you to not have to create another account with another competing company and just use Google as your main source of reviews. Okay.
Yeah, and I think too, so when you're having them on their reviews, I'm all about 2 first, right? 2 for ones. So I know it's nice an idea to send out a blank email saying, hey, everybody I know, please review me. Google actually does not like it when you do that. They know, and they actually kind of keep an eye on it, especially when you have a new business profile account that you've created. If you have a lot of people on one day or within 1 week reviewing you, and then nobody reviews you the next week or the week after, they'll flag a lot of the reviews and kind of withhold them from being publicly posted. So they want authenticity. So it just starts small, add it to your closing process. When you close a deal, make sure you have an email that goes out to the client asking them to post a review, send them a text saying, hey, I don't think you understand how helpful this is for my business. I really would love to have a review from you. Something like that.
Even if yeah, that's right, Shannon. I mean, you want it to be as organic as possible and authentic. Yep. I would say if I was a new broker and I just had opened or just got my Google profile set up, I told them, I said, shoot for 5. And I think we shot for 5 and we're busy and we got going. But, having another 1 or another 2 or something like that over a period of the next several months could really actually enhance, especially if another competitor comes into the space and wants to try to take that space back. That is one way you can actually compete with more reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
So I think this is probably just kind of breaking down what their page looks like. So when you're looking at a good example of a Google business page, I mean, it shows you very clearly. I think if I were to do this a little bit further, they've got their website is here. So that's really good. They've got their Instagram, which is tied in. They've got, people are also searching by, they don't have any posts. They've got lots of questions and answers, which is great. That's kind of like a pro tip. Ideally, it would be good to have at least 2 to 3 products. They've got 1, which is better than nothing, right? But ideally, it would be good to have 3. They've got a good bio that's in there. It's got buzzwords, Pacific Northwest, real estate. It's got buzzwords like that people are going to be searching for.
So I would say on this one, the reviews are fantastic. You notice that I was the first person to review them. You see that I still show up. Drown me out. Give them another review. And there you go. Zillow still works. So when we were building out their profile, the other thing that we made sure to tell them is that we need to get your Zillow up and running as well. So they put in there Jessica's and she has hers, and then also Gina has hers as well. And you can see the listings and sales, the 14 listings and sales, and they have the profile. You can actually add more in the about me, and that's something they may want to consider. I know that they're playing with Zillow right now in their area. So they may want to, Zillow doesn't have, prevent you from adding some extra things in your about me. So they may want to consider, especially if they're paying money for Zillow, at bringing more people to their site, because not everybody's going to click like they're looking for a realtor in a certain area. They may not want to go through Zillow. They actually might want to go to their website and see what they're all about. So you can actually add links or more information into your about me section of Zillow. But yes, definitely Zillow still works. If you do not have a profile and you're like, I'm trying to be like Adam Wilson, and there's dozens and dozens of Adam Wilsons across the nation, he will want to create a free Zillow profile that's branded to him and that talks about him, that has the same picture that he has on his website. And that will also help in his organic traffic that comes through in North Idaho. Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, and if you have, I'll mention too, when you have a Zillow account, you'd be surprised. It's kind of a sad statistic. There's a lot of real estate agents that do not take advantage of the fact that you can have a free Zillow profile. If you at least have a consumer Zillow profile, it's very easy to convert it into a professional account. Again, if you come into the workshop, I can help you set that up as well.
Yep. But you need to, that's two separate. It's a consumer, and then you have to go in, if you're licensed, you have to have a separate profile for, and they made it difficult, Shannon. They used to have it like really prominent, and now they've kind of tucked it in. So if you do have problems,
Yeah, there's a special way to do it. So if you're having trouble with it, come in and I can help you with it. But yeah, they are two very separate, distinct accounts. Rachelle's right. But if you're have at least a consumer account, we can get it converted if you come in.
Okay, let's go to the next. So one of the things Adam Wilson was talking about this morning was, he's like, I'm starting to see, I went to my website and I signed up like a consumer would. So he actually went to one of our websites and he signed up as a consumer. He's like, he was amazed because all of a sudden he got contacted. One of our agents contacted him, and our AI contacted him too. And he was like, she didn't even know who I was. It's so funny, but he was very impressed with how quickly and responsive we were. And he registered on both of our sites. So what I did is, he did not have a Real Geeks account. So most of you on the call, I know, have a Real Geeks account. If you have not jumped in there, I am working with Real Geeks at providing more opportunities and free leads. Yes, I'm going to say it, free leads that will be in Real Geeks. If you don't have an account, like Adam, I just looked to see if he had an account with Real Geeks, and for whatever reason, when he onboarded with us a year ago, he told us, no, I'm not, I'm thinking of just being in California more, but now he's going to be in North Idaho. So we want to definitely have him participate in the free lead program. So I have to create a user account. And as you can see on the screen here, I created his name, his email, his phone number. It does not cost him anything to add this account. So if you're like, I need to get an account where I can, have a landing page and all of that, let us know. We'll create an account for you so that it will help you with your branding. We definitely want to have a professional image and help you with your SEO if you're trying to grow your business. So that's one easy way with Real Geeks to improve your SEO, just by simply creating a landing page for him. Let's go to the next slide. So Adam, if I go to Adam Wilson Real Estate Agent, which is what I search on Google, this is what I see. And so Adam has done a pretty good job of at least getting his profile. So he did just like Gina and Jessica, and he got it started. So it's been confirmed. Adam Wilson, Best Choice Realty. I know it's confirmed because I did give him a review and it posted. So I know that it's a valid Google profile that has been approved by Google. He just needs to go in and update it with a picture, with a bio. Remember what we talked about with Gina and Jessica? They had like hours, reviews, their website. We got to create his landing page with Real Geeks and connect that to his Google profile. There's questions that he could ask himself so that the consumers can see how questions are answered. And he can put products. We actually have 2 products that are very easy for you guys to do. You could download the buyer consultation product and a seller consultation product and offer those on your Google profile. So you actually have 2 products without having to really think outside the box. You've got those 2 products, but Adam might want to also have a commercial product, a commercial consultation. He does a lot of that business down in California and also in Idaho. So products and then corresponding SEO and updates. So looking at his Google search today, Adam Wilson, real estate agent, I snapshot it because we're going to see over the next 6 months what we can do to improve. And I think what you guys will love to see is January, we're going to do Adam again so that you can see how he's improved. And Adam's a tough one because there's a lot of Adams across the entire United States. And Shannon and I were looking at this is a steep mountain to climb, but there's some infrastructure that we can help him with. And he's already started with the profile on Google by adding some things to that and creating the SEO and making sure that his other sites correspond, like Shannon was talking about earlier, that everything kind of matches. You know, if we go to LinkedIn, we want the name, the phone number, the Best Choice Realty, all of that to be corresponding with his profile on Google. And then Google will start to rank it very much higher instead of what he's seeing right now. You're seeing his brokerage in California, Century 21. That LinkedIn is not the Adam Wilson LinkedIn. It's a different Adam Wilson. And then you're seeing right below kind of Edge Real Estate Agency, a completely other, that's a third Adam Wilson. So he's got some work to do to kind of get his website and his SEO fixed so that he shows up when people are searching for Adam Wilson, realtor in Idaho, Adam Wilson, real estate agent, Idaho, those types of searches. People will search you out on Google. Don't kid yourself. They do before they interview you. They will do that before they make a decision. And so we want to make sure that he stands out when people are doing those types of searches.
Yeah, and I'll share a personal example, I suppose. I had a friend of mine that referred, so one of my friends had a business card. They gave it to another friend of theirs to refer them to. They looked me up online and they started looking at properties. They signed up on a couple websites. They're like, oh, it looks like Shannon. They looked me up or whatever, and then they started getting notifications of properties in this certain area or whatever. Well, come to find out, they'd signed up on someone else's website. Because there is another Shannon Hall in the nation that does real estate, and bless her heart, she's a first-time home buyer. And, she's like she's like, this doesn't seem like it's Shannon. So she ended up, I look at it as, thank goodness my friend ended up giving me her phone number to call and I got in touch with her. But had that not happened, I mean, that's a lead that just because of legitimacy and not having things updated and not paying special attention to SEO and where you're looking like online is how you can miss business. So I took that whole experience very personally. I spent a lot of time at least building the framework for myself so that if I was, in this case, she's this cute little first-time home buyer. She's, she's from China. She's never bought in the US before. And she's just looking me up online, and what is she going to see? And I want to make sure that she sees exactly what I want her to see, which is I want to see that I'm in real estate. I specialize in a specific area. You can look me up on LinkedIn. In Adam's case, if I were Adam, if I click on LinkedIn, I'm going to see the same photo that I'm seeing on Google Business. If I click on Facebook or Instagram down below, I want it to also be Adam Wilson as well. I want her only to see Adam Wilson in that case. So I suppose learn from my example.
Yes, let's showcase if you want. Just go ahead and flip out of this. I think so we did a search. So we're going to build kind of like, Shannon Hall Real Estate. Go ahead and do the Google search on the right.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is an example of kind of my, like, look under the hood, I suppose, of what I did after that scenario happened. So I've created a Google business. Once you've done this within Google, this is what you'll see where you can actually make changes. So you can add those products, Q&A, photos, things like that I just mentioned. Google reviews, we've got websites, we've got appointments. I'm using a Calendly thing.
There's the products we're talking about. Yep.
Right. Yep. So if someone clicked on it, they can at least see, oh, okay, I can do some sort of consultation. It's got my phone number, that sort of thing. We've got some reviews. I could probably have some more questions. We've got at least a bio. This is coming over from, I think, HomeSnap. I'm not posting these. HomeSnap, I think, is doing it for me. And then, other than that, the websites I click on this, it's going to take me to Shannon. There's me. That's me again. I've got Zillow, my Zillow profile that's on here as well. There's me as well. I've got realtor.com. That's me as well.
This took some time, Shannon. This wasn't like overnight. You actually have been spending some time working on this over the last
Yep.
year.
Yep, it takes time. And I've got, I'm like many of you. I mean, if you've got a common last name like me, you're working 10 times as hard to compete with other people across the nation and even locally as well. We actually, in our office, we have an agent who has literally the same exact name as another agent in our NWMLS. And what's funny is they actually know each other because clients sometimes will call the other person trying to get a hold of them. So, be better than the other person who has the same name as you.
That's very good. But you can see Instagram. And so when you participate in some of these different things, what I want you to notice though, is that see the Choice Homes for Sale, Shannon's website that we put through Real Geeks, the landing page that we're going to work on with, that comes right up. So because CherylMcLaren.com, she's had this for over 10 years. When you do a search, a Google search or a Bing search or any kind of search online, and you search for Cheryl McLaren, her name, it comes right up to this website. So the power of a very, very solid, high performing Real Geeks IDX platform. You guys are very much kind of spoiled, I will say, because it's free, number one, because you work for Best Choice. But the SEO is the reason why I continue to engage with Real Geeks, because their SEO is by far the best out there. I mean, that's proven even with Candace. Here's Candace, who's been with us during the pandemic. She came over, and in a very short amount of time, you can see her Choice Homes for Sale, her Real Geeks, that profile is the number one thing that comes up. Now, notice the profile on the right is very prominent on Google, and she's worked really hard to get to that. But then CandaceFrazier.com and then Best Choice Realty Homes and Facebook is still even lower than even her website that we've created for her. So I'm pretty proud of the fact that we can do a lot for you, but you do have to go in and kind of create the framework and start working on the profile and what do you want to say about yourself, and just realize that you're doing that because, like Shannon says, your clients are looking online. So don't kid yourself. They will check you out. And if you don't have it updated, you're going to look like you're kind of disjointed. In Adam's case, it wouldn't take us probably a few months just to get his impact of what people see online, get that to really rank higher on Google. So I'd love to get your questions. Is there any specific questions that we want to cover tonight?
Rachelle, it's Larry.
Hey,
Hey,
Larry.
do you guys have like a list like for a new agent? Like, you
We do.
talked about Zillow, LinkedIn, Real Geeks, all that stuff. Do you guys have like a list?
We do, yes. So I will, we'll post that with the recording. Shannon, if you can make a note of that, that would be great. We have, it's kind of like a checklist, Larry, of like what to do, for a new agent as they're jumping into Best Choice. What are some areas that we spend some time with? And that is available to any of you.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Don't be so shy. Shannon, did I cover everything that you got on your chat?
Yeah. No, I think we're in good shape. So I suppose takeaway, guys, check your online, look yourself up. I know there's a funny comedian that he ended up meeting someone that had the same exact name as him. And he's like, I know you. You want to make sure you give your name a good reputation, I suppose, online as well. Maybe show up, be better than the other person who has the same exact name as you. And if you have a unique name like Rachelle does, you're in good shape. But yeah, take the time. It doesn't take very long to actually go in and create those profiles or edit them. But it'll be well worth the time, at least seeing how things will rise up. So,
okay. Very good. We are going to wrap then for the week. It's September 4th next week. We're already into September. I actually am going to take the day off. It is my birthday on September 4th. So we will not do a webinar next Monday, but get ready because we're going to roll out the fishing pond the following week. So how to get leads, and we're going to put them into a Real Geeks platform and then allow you guys to fish for leads. Those of you who are looking to maybe add a little bit more to your portfolio, more opportunities. Again, I'm going through and really cleaning the house and also providing more opportunities for all of you who are looking at how can we seek out these opportunities that may not be so easy for our friends at other companies. So I'm excited about our fall and our winter, and also bringing in some very talented people coming from some various companies. So I'm excited about what Best Choice Realty is going to be able to do in the next couple months. No teasers. I wish I could share some information, Shannon, but I'm very excited about what's on the horizon. So have a great week, you guys. We'll talk to you soon.